Hey Virgo, welcome to my channel Lake's View. My name's Aleka. I am new to YouTube. Thank you so much for stopping by and giving my video a shot. So I started this self-care channel because I wanted to remind all of you how important your individual healing and self-care is on this journey towards self-development and self-empowerment. What we're going to go over today is I want to give you guys a tarot reading on what you need to heal for the month of June, okay? So we're going to go over what you need to heal, what's blocking you from healing, and then I'm going to leave you guys with some advice. So let's get started, Virgo. Okay, the Knight of Swords literally just popped out. I'm going to take it. Give me a second. You guys may be rushing something, okay? And the message here is to slow down, all right? What does Virgo need to heal for the month of June? What does Virgo need to heal for the month of June? Virgo for the month of June. What does Virgo need to heal for the month of June? Okay, the Two of Wands also came out. So this speaks to indecision about making plans, okay? And also the Knight of Swords popped out. And what I got from this is a need to slow down with something. So maybe you need to not be making any decisions, impulsively. All right, maybe you need to take your time and think about something before you act or before you proceed in some way. This thing is going to be different for everyone. It's a general reading, but there's something that you've been thinking about, that you've been pondering about, that you've been planning for, that you may be rushing, you may need to slow down. This may be a relationship, a job, a move, but there is a specific thing going on in your life where I feel like you're ready to just kind of get this going a little bit, but that may not be what's best for you at the moment, okay, Virgo? So let me look a little bit deeper into this. What does Virgo need to heal for the month of June? What does Virgo need to heal for the month of June? Queen of Pentacles. So you may have a situation with someone that you're committed to. This person could be your wife, your long-term girlfriend, your live-in girlfriend, or it could be someone who you have some sort of commitment with, okay? It could be your baby mama, something like that. But there's definitely a situation here that you may be rushing. So I don't know if you are making plans to marry someone, if you're making plans to move with someone, or make a decision, have a baby with someone, Virgo. But there's something about the situation where you need to slow down, because I have a feeling that you're about to go down the wrong path. You see, there's two wands here. Therefore, there's two different ways that you can go about this situation. You have your hand on this wand, and it's looking like this is the direction that you're choosing, all right? But I'm getting a feeling that there's something about this wand over here that you're not paying too much attention to, all right? There's something about this wand over here that you're needing to take into consideration. This one up here, this seems like the impulsive move, and also you see how he has the world in his hand. So I feel like it's a move you're making for the satisfaction of what other people will think of you. Other people, the outside world, your friends, social media, whatever. Whatever move you're rushing into, you're doing it because you think it's what you have to do to have some sort of acceptance from someone. And I feel like you're seeking acceptance from a source that isn't quite healthy. The opinions of the people that you're seeking satisfaction from, these opinions aren't the most important opinions, okay? There's something about this wand you're supposed to be looking into, all right? You're supposed to be looking into that wand. Think twice. Think twice, Virgo. If this is resonating with you at all, even a little bit, if there's something that you're not sure, you're thinking about it, you're not too sure, there's something that you're supposed to think twice. I don't think that something is healthy for you here. I'm not even gonna lie or be funny or be fake about it. Something is very unhealthy. Your motive for doing something is unhealthy. That's what it is. Your motive for doing something is unhealthy. What I was seeing here about you taking up this wand and you having the world in your hand, this is you seeking instant gratification trying to look good for other people. This has a lot to do with your image and what you feel you should look like in order to be respected. All right? And what you have to understand that respect all starts with yourself. Your self-respect will teach other people how to respect you. All right? You don't need to seek it in these superficial ways, Virgo. But there's definitely something about this Queen of Pentacles. There may be a feminine in your life, a person in your life, a person who is part of this decision making, okay? Make sure you're being fair to this person. All right, I have a feeling that this person is kind of being affected by whatever decision you make, and just make sure that you're taking this person's feelings into consideration when moving forward. Because some of your moves that you're making may be for the wrong reasons, and they may have a selfish intent. I'm not saying you're intentionally doing that, but what you're doing may be selfish to someone else. And if this person matters, you know, that should matter to you. What is blocking Virgo from making wise decisions? What is blocking Virgo? Even though I think what's blocking you is that need to feel accepted by other people. And also, remember that, why are you giving other people some sort of satisfaction if they're not adding anything to your life? Any sort of effort or energy you're putting into something or someone, you want to make sure that there's some sort of equal exchange of energy there. All right? Everything in this world is balance. Everything. So if you're constantly doing things to gain the approval of the people around you who don't matter, the people who don't matter, that's what I mean. If you're seeking approval from those people, you're giving them a lot of your energy, and they're not giving you nothing back but their opinions and their judgments, right? I feel like you need to pay a little bit more attention to someone in your life. Someone may feel left out. Someone may feel that you are being unfair to them. You are not taking what they feel they need into consideration. And there's some sort of a commitment link with this person. You know, that's why I say it could be a wife, a live-in, wife or husband, excuse me, a live-in situation, or this could be a person you are linked to with a child, all right? And even so, if this is a person you are linked to with a child, even if you are not still together, that's still a commitment, and this person's feelings need to be considered when you make certain kinds of moves. Not all of them, but certain ones, okay? What's blocking Virgo? The Hangman. All right, so you're not making a, all right, you're acting impulsively, right? That's because you're not looking at something from a certain perspective. All right, this person in this picture is getting enlightenment, this yellow bulb thing light around them, because they looked at things from a different angle. All right, they were blocked because they were only looking at things from one perception only. But when they kind of hung themselves upside down, they started to receive all these messages, and they're looking at things from a viewpoint in which they never looked at it. I think you need to do that, and I have to go back to this. I do feel like it has a lot to do with this Queen of Pentacles, okay? Maybe you are rushing into something, and maybe it's not fair to someone else. But a decision that you're making, you're not seeing things clearly. You need to look at this from all angles before you make a decision. Seriously. What is blocking Virgo? What is blocking Virgo? What is blocking Virgo from healing? Okay, manipulation, you know, being petty, conflicts, things like that. Virgo, are you sure that whatever decision you're making, you're not making it out of pettiness? I know I was saying before that you may be making this decision for superficial reasons, you know, but make sure, like, you know, underneath superficial reasons is pettiness, okay? Make sure that you're not making the decision that is only good for you. Leo had a similar message, you know, during their reading. But you want to make sure that whatever you're deciding to do, you're doing it for the right reasons. I keep wanting to say that to you. Make sure you're doing things for the right reasons, Virgo. Make sure you're being fair to everyone involved. Make sure this is only not benefiting you. There's a serious card, like this card, this Five of Swords here, is a card about, you know, like coming up off somebody, you know? You don't want to do that. Do not act from a place of pettiness. Do not act from a place of, you know, revenge or feeling like you have to make a point. That's what I want to say. Don't feel like you have to make a point about anything to anyone if they don't matter, Virgo. This is the very thing that's blocking you and the very thing that may be causing you to rush into something that may not be for you. And you may have to end up figuring that out the hard way. The Lovers card just popped out. Okay? Give me 1 second. So, the Lovers card fell out, all right? And when I saw it on the ground, I saw it in the reverse. So what I'm feeling about this is this very well may be a situation, a relationship situation, where the decisions that you're making are affecting this partnership. And if it's not a romantic relationship, it could be a work partnership, business, some sort of partnership, some sort of collaboration with someone that you have some sort of a commitment with in some way. Whatever decisions you're making is affecting this union, this bond, all right? Whatever you're doing is affecting the other person involved, and I'm not sure that you're seeing it that way, Virgo. I'm not so sure. Just because this Hangman card came out, implying that your judgment may be a little bit clouded at the moment, and you do need to seek clarity. Just leave Virgo with some advice. A bunch of cards fell out. Hold up. I want to leave Virgo with some advice. Okay, so a few cards flipped over. I'm going to take them. So, all right, so you see you got the Death card. Something is ending or changing, all right? There could be an ending to the way things are now. So a cycle may be ending. Something is inevitably changing. The way you do something is ending. And I have a feeling that it has a lot to do with this partnership, this union, and this person, you know, in the union. So either the relationship, the bond is ending, or the dynamic of the bond is ending, okay? So this may mean that you and this person are no longer as close as you used to be. Maybe if you are a person who is having a baby with someone, maybe you guys have decided to just co-parent instead of actually being in a relationship and raising the child together, all right? But a decision that you're making is making all this happen, Virgo. All right, so we also had the Five of Wands, which is another conflict card, a conflict card and a competition card, and a card that also speaks to, you know, battling it out with other people. Remember what I said, not to do things out of pettiness, not to do things out of shadiness, not to do things to prove a point. You may be doing that, Virgo. 2 5s also symbolizing change, okay? The Strength card was out, and then the Page of Pentacles was out. So with the Strength card, you are needing to seek the courage to be above these superficial things. You are needing to understand that and it's hard, it's not easy. In the world we live in, we're very pressured to just assimilate, you know, and it's not always what's best for us, but what you have to remember that you can do this. You have the power, Virgo. You have the power, you have the strength, okay? You can definitely do this. I just want you to be fair, because I feel like you may be in a point in your life right now where you're being selfish, you know, and don't get that confused with being selfish in the good way, because there is such thing as a good kind of selfishness when we remind ourselves to take care of ourselves, we remind ourselves to honor our own wants and needs too, and not just those of others. But I feel like this is more so coming from a place of you only honoring yourself and not taking into consideration people who are very affected by the decisions that you're making. All right, Virgo, I'm really, really, really hoping that this makes sense to you, okay? What I want to do now is I want to pick a card from the Sacred Self-Care Oracle deck for you, just to leave you with a message. What message are we going to leave Virgo with for the month of June? What message? Make an altar. Okay, so not everyone is into making altars. That's totally fine. So what I'm going to tell you about this, Virgo, is you need to create some sort of a sacred space for yourself, a sacred space where you can clear your mind and where you can look at things from a fair standpoint, from an objective standpoint. This is a lot like Leo's reading. You want to be able to ask for guidance, you know? So by creating an altar, this may mean like, you know, if you're a religious person and you go to church, maybe you need to seek counsel, maybe you need to consult someone. Talk to someone about the things you're going through, maybe someone older than you, someone who's wiser than you, someone who's maybe been where you are right now and who can give you accurate guidance. But I do feel like you need to do some sort of worship. What I mean by worship is you need to express gratitude for the things you have in order to receive messages about the things that are to come in your life. All right, you may be in a state in your life where, like I said before, you know, you're caring a little bit about superficial things. And I just want you to always remember to be, you know, gracious and grateful for the things that you have. All right, and I want you to not take those things for granted. And I want you to create a connection with yourself and God. However you create that connection, whatever religion you believe in, whatever spiritual practices you believe in, I want you to create a connection with God, because your connection with God is always authentic. It's the most authentic connection you will ever have, and that connection will never steer you wrong. All right, I want you to seek guidance. Go within, go within, go within, Virgo. Let me read what the book has to say about this card, and then we shall be off, Virgo. Virgo, your mantra is, I dedicate space for my sacred ritual practices. An altar is a place to gather sacred objects that intentions, reflect, pray, and feel connected to your spirit and the universe. Whether simple or elaborate, permanent or temporary, small or big, inside a home or outside in nature, it is a space for honoring the people, places, things, and activities that enrich the soul. Tune into what feels right for you. Do you need to refresh your altar space or create a new one? You can create anything from a money altar to a fertility altar, but whatever direction you go in, begin with intention. Look inside yourself for clarity on what you want to focus on. Photos, crystals, candles, animals, totems, and objects to represent the 5 elements, earth, air, water, fire, and ether, are all perfect items to use. Intuitively select items that feel right and meaningful to you. Craft your altar to reflect your own creative power and the sacredness you bring to everyday life. Sit in front of it and focus on manifesting your intention. Remember that the altar itself does not hold the power of manifestation, but the energy within you as you interact with it does. All right, Virgo, that is what I have for you for today. If you like my style, like, share, and subscribe. Comment below, introduce yourself. I want to know who's watching these videos. I want to interact with you guys. Tell your friends about this channel, definitely. Yeah, that's it. I just stopped by to remind you guys how vital your individual healing is to your self-care and how important your self-care is for your soul. All right? Bye, Virgo.